Okay. All right. So we're finishing up the technique table today. We have the bottom 4 that require something other than your paint. Okay. So we have lemon juice, rubbing alcohol, crayon resist, and nature. So for lemon juice, we'll start the same. We'll take, for these, I suggest getting like a darker tone. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little blue. And then I'm going to take my lemon juice. I'm going to use a little toothpick fork thingy. And I'm going to drop in, and I'm going to draw a little bit. It looks like it dried kind of quickly. So you do have to do this rather quick. Okay, and then you can just wipe the toothpick off with a paper towel. Okay. So rubbing alcohol is the same idea. I'm going to, again, take a darker color. So I'll use brown. Okay, so for the rubbing alcohol, I have a little container of rubbing alcohol. I have some dark brown on my brush. So I'll go ahead and paint my tone on. And then you could even use the back of your brush for this. If I just put this in, and I can tap it so that it kind of comes down. You can see the little droplet. I can also kind of draw with it. I can put dots on it. Okay, so that does something kind of interesting. And then I can wipe that with my brush. I'll put the lid on this. For crayon resist, you want to use a white crayon. If it's a little bit dirty on the top, you can just kind of rub it into your paper towel and make sure it's clean. Now, crayons, as we know, are made of wax. And what we're doing is we're putting some wax down on the paper so that it causes a resist for the water and the pigment. So if I write something down here, I'm going to write pretty hard. Okay. And now I can put my pigment down. So let's do some red. And what happens is that where you have the crayon, the water doesn't go down on that. Okay? So you can see what I wrote there. For the nature one, I have a leaf here. I'm going to go ahead and put in some paint on this surface there. And this doesn't always work. This leaf is really thin and fine, and it has some nice texture on it, kind of on both sides. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and press it down on one side and then make sure that the leaf part is touching, and then leave it. You got to kind of let it sit there and just be by itself for a little while and see if it works. It might not work, but it might. Okay. Okay, so we have the negative painting and the glazing to finish. So what I'm going to do on the negative painting, I'm going to put like a grove of trees starting about 3/4 of the way from the bottom up, or 1/4 of the way down. And I'm going to just have a little wiggle line and then draw in just suggestion of trees. And then what I'm going to do is paint in with black the negative space around the tree that I've sketched in there, or trees. For this, I'm trying to move quickly enough so that I don't have any edges dry before I finish painting up the space. So, like I'm drawing around my pencil line and then filling in. I just need to do it quickly enough so that a little dry line doesn't form. Okay, and that's going to be it for negative painting. Okay, and now last but not least is for glazing. So I have the 3 primary colors here, sort of coincidentally. So I'm going to do different colors for my glazing. So I'm just going to paint, I've got green in my tray. I want to paint some lines over. So here's, looks like it's a little blue-green actually. And I'm just going to leave it, because if you start messing with it too much, it could pull up. Like I can see the red. The red sort of reconstituted with the water, and it dragged over a tiny bit. And then I think I'll do brown. And then I'll do the same thing from down here. I'll just paint across. So what you have happening is the 2 colors are kind of, you know, the overlap, and you can see how, like, under here we have the red, and then on the top is the brown, and then it just has like a warm brown here, and then a cooler brown, and then another warm, and so it's just another technique. This is the glazing, where you're using a decent amount of water and then overlapping where one is already wet, dry. Okay, so that's our technique table. Oh, and I can probably pull this off now. There, and it works rather nicely. Okay. There you have it. Thank you.